many of the
Magpie supporters. That's terrific.
They really stuck it up, and yeah, it's good to see.
Today, here at home base, the Campbelltown Sports Ground, there's another hurdle for the Magpies to overcome as they test the mettle of the Illawarra Steelers in round 9. And just look at how close these two sides are. Illawarra on 11 points. West's just one away.
Both sides will try to gain control in the trenches. Illawarra's course hasn't been helped by the late withdrawal of Chris Walsh and John Simons, and West do have the home ground advantage, and it appears as though they have the edge in the kicking game with Jason Taylor holding centre stage there. But you know what's tickling my fancy? Will Warren Ryan come up with a ploy to stop this brilliant Illawarra back line?
Yes, he's a wily coach. It's 4th versus 5th as West take on Illawarra.
Interesting. If their forwards can stand up today, there's a chance for their young backline to get into the action. Let's see how they go.
Yes, those Illawarra forwards will have to stand up. I said a moment ago that Illawarra haven't lost in 7 matches. Of course, they did lose against Newcastle 2 weeks or 2 matches back. Then they bounced back against the Gold Coast. But they've strung together the wins, the Illawarra side, for the most part this season. The Magpies led out by Ivan Henjak. Their skipper, plenty of experience in this Western Suburbs side. Steve Jackson, Graham Wynn. It's a formidable lineup and growing in confidence. Ronnie Gibbs about to put his headgear on, ready for battle. Sean Devine at fullback. On the wings, it's Burns and Casado with Farah and Ainscough in the centres. Henjak at 5'8". Jason Taylor is the halfback. And the forward lineup, Jason Liddon in at lock forward. Gibbs and Wynn in the second row. Gillespie and Jackson the prop forwards with Thomas the hooker and the coach, Warren Ryan. And the Steelers, well, Chris Walsh is out of their lineup. So the captain, or the regular captain, not there today. David Riolo is the fullback. On the wings, Wishart and McIndoe, Rodwell and McGregor in the centres. Smith at 5'8", taking over the captaincy with Trevor Kissel coming in at halfback. And the forward lineup, Ian Russell at lock forward, Bill Dunn that is, and Pinchinelli in the second row. Teitzel, Skiffolitti and Morrissey, the front row. Les Morrissey, the replacement player. He may actually pack into the second row with Bill Dunn moving up to the front row, and the coach, Graham Murray. And there's Ian Russell. He's a very tough campaigner, Russell, and you can see that he's having a few words to say. They're one of the more experienced members of this side. Smith also taking over the captaincy. And this enthusiastic Western Suburbs crowd enjoying the fact that their team are performing this season. Including the Magpies, the crowd stands for the national anthem. Of the national anthem. I've said before, I don't think it's appropriate that it should be played before every club match, but the New South Wales Rugby League thinks that it's a good idea, and I'm sure all Australians are quite proud of the anthem. So everything in readiness for this very important clash. And Illawarra, they certainly have been battered by the loss of John Simon and Chris Walsh. Walsh troubled by an ankle injury. The suggestion that he could be out for the rest of the season, which would be a terrible blow to the Steelers, but he is hopeful that after seeing a specialist this week, he'll be right, at least in a few weeks' time. Referee is Graham Annesley. And Jason Taylor gets play underway. Illawarra bringing the ball back, and a strong tackle comes in from Liddon and Thomas. That was Kissel taking the tackle. Now it's Skiffolitti.
Warren, the key to this game will be whether Illawarra can match West in the forwards, and there is a general consensus opinion that when confronted by a very tough pack of forwards, Illawarra do seem to fold. So they're really on trial here today.
Well, they're certainly taking the ball up with plenty of gusto. Strong run from Teitzel, and now it's Morrissey playing it back as Kissel gets his kick in. Under pressure from Jackson. Bouncing around for Devine, but he is not going to risk knocking that ball into touch. So the scrum feed will be the Magpies.
We have a look here in replay. Number 19, Trevor Kissel, putting the kick in there and just bouncing end on end towards the line there. But Trevor Kissel, in the absence of John Simon, sharing the kicking duties with Tony Smith.
Coach Graham Murray in the stand, and alongside him Rod Henniker, who
Warren
used to go around.
Warren, I think Graham Murray has actually issued his forwards with a challenge today. They know they're up against a fairly tough pack, and their performance will be noted by all today.
And John, I thought we noticed the response there from Teitzel and Morrissey. They really took it up hard.
Yep, well, the coach is right. It's up to the players to respond.
Thomas in a dummy half, gets it out to Steve Jackson, but he runs into some solid defence. In the early matches, under 21s, West 26 defeated Illawarra 8. And the reserve grade, another win to West, 26-6, and the Magpies are in the top 5 in all 3 grades, and that hasn't happened for quite a few years. As the kick bouncing over the top of Wishart, Burns is down there to take him. Stephen Burns played with Illawarra last year in the lower grades, so he'll be taking up the challenge against his former club today.
Wishart could have nearly been pinched for walking off the mark there.
Rodwell into the action, in amongst the forwards. The ball slipped out underneath him, and it's a West ball. Liddon coming up with it. Bad pass goes out to Jackson. He just gets back for it.
That was a super hit there by Ron Gibbs.
Gillespie running from dummy half, but Illawarra up inside the 5. Smith and McGregor, the offenders.
We have a look here on replay, and yeah, not much in that, but they appeared to be mostly back with referee Annesley, but I think he did pinch them for moving off before the ball had been heeled.
Since 1982, when Illawarra came into the competition, they've had the better of West. They've won 8, West have won 7. That's a pretty good record for a club like Illawarra, which takes a while to get established. Mind you, some of those years have been fairly lean for the Magpies, as Burns comes in, gets it to the 22.
There's a second football on the field there, and the referee just stopping play.
Quickly on as Jackson takes it up again. West in the middle, plenty of runners coming. Running hard and strong there is Graham Wynn. 11 metres out. Taylor calls for it. He's got plenty of men outside. Thomas goes straight through, slips the pass away. The referee's going to allow the try.
I think that pass was forward from Joe Thomas. We'll have a look on replay.
The Tony Casado spearing through for the try, but the pass certainly appeared to slide forward. Good ball goes ahead from Taylor, putting Thomas through, and he ran behind Liddon as well. I don't know whether a tackler was obstructed. Casado there to finish it off.
Well, we have a look here. Really, it's Liddon who makes the play here. They use him as a decoy here as he takes out number 10. Well, no one was really, they just misread that, but this pass from Joe Thomas to Casado looked a dash forward.
Let's have one more look at it as Thomas goes through, and that pass, well, certainly did appear to be forward.
I think the obstruction could have come on Ian Russell there, so the referee would have been entitled to give a penalty.
Tony Casado's 7th try of the season. He's right up there amongst the top try scorers. Had that serious head injury against West a couple of years ago, but has bounced back very strongly. Casado, in fact, the 2nd highest try scorer in the competition. Alan McIndoe, in the opposition team, is the top scorer, with Paul Smith from Penrith. Taylor from out wide. Strong-looking kick from Taylor, but just missing. So it's 4-0 in favour of the Magpies.
Well, just to start, West wanted. They knocked 3 in, and Graham Wynn made a strong run. And here's the short side. Here's a decoy operation in motion. Liddon did it very well, and here's the pass. Let's have a look. It slowed down. Yeah, it may have been a touch forward, but a great start for West.
You don't often see a player running as a decoy right in front of another player, not conceding a shepherd, but it didn't appear that there was any tackler impeded.
Yeah, Ian Russell had just held him up a little momentarily. I think he could have locked Johnny Thomas up. So I think the penalty was warranted.
So this scrum is going to pack, giving Illawarra a real chance here. On the 22, Smith gets it out to Rodwell. Russell. Henjack underneath him. The ball did go forward, according to referee Annesley.
Once again, we saw a super hit there by Ronnie Gibbs coming in over the top. Calling, we'll have a look at this here. Watch Ronnie Gibbs. No, Ronnie Gibbs came in over the top, but it was really, the damage was done by Ivan Henjack.
So let off there for West, so now they have the scrum win in Taylor's hands.
Not a good start by Illawarra. Their last 2 sets of 6 drop balls. Graham Murray wouldn't be too happy.
Ron Gibbs juggled that ball before hanging onto it. Gillespie had to stop to get the pass, and that made him an easier target for the defence. Teitzel up there with Morrissey and Kissel. Burns, plenty of pace off the mark. Stephen Burns, the winger.
Burns used very similar to Jeff Doyle of Newcastle.
Farrow with the kick. Under pressure too from Smith. Bumped him after he got the kick away with his hip. Riolo. At McIndoe, trying to get into a gap on the outside. Wishart tries to bump off Thomas. Hangs onto him with Graham Wynn. Graham Wynn and Ron Gibbs in the second row for West, really experiencing a lease of life, new lease of life after a couple of disappointing seasons, I suppose.
Well, they certainly were unwanted by other clubs, so you have to take your hat off to Coach Warren Ryan.
It looked as if Graham Wynn was set for retirement with St George, and Gibbs with the Gold Coast the last couple of years. The penalty has gone here to Western Suburbs. Illawarra in possession.
Well, he's indicated there that Skipoletti is mouthing off. So a strange penalty there.
I'm wondering whether the mouthing off came after the penalty. I couldn't quite read the referee's decision there.
I think it was before, Warren. Unusual penalty.
So John, what do you think it was for mouthing off?
I think he was trying to give the referee a hand in his decision in that play the ball, and Annesley resented that.
Well, it's a big mistake by Illawarra in possession. Now West have a chance on the opposition 22 as Ainscoe is knocked over. Casato again in amongst the forwards. 20 metres out. Gibbs runs into some strong defence. Teitzel hits him. Taylor cuts from one side of the ruck to the other. Swings a long ball out for Graham Wynn. He's got his winger Casato there. Back it goes to Wynn again. Wynn swinging the ball. It's gone forward. Wynn realised he was going into touch. Tried to get rid of the ball.
We have a look at this on replay because it looks almost as though Wynn, this ball could have been knocked forward by an Illawarra player. Now, as he throws the ball back inside, is it touched by an Illawarra player? No, it was good cover defence there.
West getting the numbers there as Taylor cut across from one side of the ruck to the other. There's a bit of a blue going on in the back play from that scrum. Joe Thomas and Jackson trading punches with a couple of players from Illawarra. Teitzel there, Skipoletti, McIndoe.
Well, two from the North Queensland boys trading punches there in back play, and that's not very nice, is it?
I don't think too much damage was done, but there'll be a report.
Former West player too, Teitzel.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of players up against their old clubs.
Yeah, Craig Teitzel from Bowen and Steve Jackson from Mackay, so very much up there in the north.
Gee, they're a dangerous team. Western Suburbs from tap moves, everything rehearsed. Precision.
Here's the scrum from which the fisticuffs erupted. No sign of what really started the punches flying there. Teitzel played with Wests in 88 and 89 before joining Illawarra last season.
Because he had a lot of injuries with West too.
Illawarra just short of halfway as Smith decides to go himself. Pinchinelli.
They retain the ball for 6. They have no problems getting over that advantage line. They're making plenty of yardage, Illawarra.
Good yards there, Arthur.
Bill Dunn coming quickly over the advantage line, and now it's Teitzel. They picked up 30 metres in the space of 4 tackles. Kissel, the run around with Smith. Riolo in from fullback. Trying to get away from Farah. Now it's the last tackle. 30 metres out. Kissel kicks. Cross field it goes. But straight to Casado, and really no pressure there as Pinchinelli was trying to come through on him.
That was a very ordinary kick there by Kissel. They had McGregor there placed to put the kick up, and a little bit selfish there.
Gillespie trying to change direction. He realises that the defence is moving up quickly, ready to put in the big hits. Here's Liddon. Jason Liddon, the former 5'8" come centre, now in the forwards. Back to Farah for the kick. Smith was coming through on him, and it's a good kick over the head of Riolo. He's all by himself, no support. Now he has Wishart, and good run from Riolo, almost away from Henjak.
Wasn't a very good chasing team there by West, and especially on Riolo, who has plenty of speed. They've got to get more defenders down there.
Out it goes to Rodwell, but he runs straight into Liddon. 30 metres out from the Illawarra line. Here's a good burst upfield by Rod Wishart, one of the players in this match who'll be looking anxiously towards the State of Origin selection. Here's Morrissey, hit solidly. Ainscoe the tackler. Dunn runs straight into Graham Wynn. Now that's the 5th tackle. Skiffaliti, a dummy half. Not a very good looking kick, but it'll find touch. Picked up 20 metres, if that. So the kicking game from Illawarra just looking a little shaky at the moment.
Yeah, we have a look here as he pops out of the dummy half area, and I don't think he's a left footer, Skiffaliti, and there's the results of that kick.
Warren Ryan's at the back of the grandstand, keeping a close eye on things. He's certainly made an impact with West this season, taking over from John Bailey, as has Graham Murray with Illawarra, taking over from Ron Hilditch.
Interesting to note that Farah was used at the 5'8" position.
Casado's not spending much time on the wing. He scored a try on the far side of the field, and he's been in amongst the forwards all day. Here's Gillespie. Much more a stuttering run from Gillespie. He's going ahead a couple of metres, then trying to step off his left foot and off his right foot and get a little wider. He is taking the ball up regularly.
West play a very compact, tight game of football inside their own half. They don't spread the ball very much at all.
Farah with the kick, under pressure from Rodwell. Riolo has it. Bringing it back, Riolo can't beat the tackle of Ainscoe or Casado. Jamie Ainscoe in the West team, replacing Russell Wire, who was hurt last week. And good news from Warren Ryan regarding the prospects of Bob Linder coming back soon. Apparently, there's a chance that Linder will be back on the field in just 2 or 3 weeks, after it seemed it would be a lot longer. And that could almost put him in contention for the 3rd State of Origin match. With the split round, Linder might not get the chance to play a game. Here's Teitzel on the halfway. Good ball back to Skiffaliti. Wishart bursts through one tackle. Up to his feet. Well done, Wishart. Russell, they keep it alive, but a crunching tackle by Jackson on Teitzel. Skiffaliti pops it through. Charged down by Gibbs. They've regained, and that's 6 more tackles. Charged down, counting as a touch.
Yeah, very lucky there, Illawarra, but he has caught the West defence encroaching the 5 metres here as he pinches Graham Wynn and Ainscoe moving up very quickly. We have a look at the charge down here. Skiffaliti tries to get this ball, and there's Ronnie Gibbs airborne there.
We mentioned last week that sometimes the charge down, you wonder about the value of it, because if you do concede 6 tackles, but at least if you've got someone else who can chase down your charge down and retain possession, well, then you get a lot of value out of it. And I suppose there's just too much risk in allowing a team to kick without pressure.
Well, actually, it was probably going back about 6 weeks ago that Ron Gibbs conceded a couple of penalties in the charge down that probably cost West the game.
There was some controversy that day with Gibbs conceding penalties. And this is the penalty with West moving up inside the 5 in front of referee Annesley. Clearly, Graham Wynn, I think, was the chief offender. Rod Wishart from 32 metres out. March of this year against Canterbury Bankstown, he set an Illawarra record with a try and 8 goals. His record with the boot this season 25 goals from 37 attempts. Not the most accurate kicker in the competition, but he's been landing plenty of them nevertheless. And this kick's swinging around, but not enough. So the score remains 4 points to 0 in favour of the Magpies. The early try to Casato.
Except for that occasion, the Illawarra seem to be handling, now that they've tightened up their ball handling Western Suburbs quite easily.
Wishart's causing a few problems around the ruck area, Arthur. Good dummy half runner.
Well, that's his forte, and I expect him to be included in the New South Wales side next week.
Here's Wishart bringing it back now, and he takes on Henjak and runs alongside him for a while, carrying the little man with him. Plenty of determination from Henjak, but he just didn't have the size. Good ball offloaded to Morrissey. Morrissey cuts straight through. He comes to Devine, and that's a great tackle from the fullback. Skiffoletti getting a good ball away. Ian Russell decides that there's more chance on this side of the field. Out to Rodwell now. Casato just gets hold of him, but the ball's alive. Skiffoletti. Kissel. Russell. Looking for Skiffoletti once more. Now he finds him. They've got an overlap out here as Dunn can't get the pass away to McGregor, but they're only 15 metres out. They still have a chance on the far side. Skiffoletti might go all the way himself. Skiffoletti standing 5 metres out. Good attack from Illawarra. West just hanging on here. Smith gives it to Russell. Inside Gibbs. Russell's trying to stand. Now it's the last tackle. 12 metres out. Kessel tries to put the little kick through, but Thomas has fallen on it.
Yeah, great work there by Illawarra, and the man who caused all those problems for the Magpies, Skiffoletti. We have a look here as Kissel just tries to put this in behind, but the ever alert Joe Thomas there wraps that ball up.
I think Illawarra's problems are in their 5th and 6th tackle plays, their kicking game. It's just not good enough coming out of their quarter, and very ineffective down in West quarter.
Crazy enough, there could have been a try on John when Morrissey busted, had Wishart stayed alive there. On the play the ball. No, super hit there by Skiffoletti.
That really stopped Graham Wynne in his tracks. Illawarra's defence is lifting, and here's Kissel charging down the kick. It's 6 more tackles as Devine manages to save it. And Devine is off again. Burns. Liddon hitting it back into the centre of the ruck. West making a little more ground in this set of 6 than they were earlier in the match. Liddon finding a bit more easy yardage up the centre. Early on it was Illawarra who were making the easy yards. Last tackle now. Farah kicking from halfway.
Yeah, Les Morrissey down in back play, but getting up now.
Riolo has a good step, and he's away from Ainscoe. On his outside is McIndoe, but he doesn't use him. He should have looked wider on the left-hand side. Got it back to halfway with a good run, though. Now Morrissey sends it out to Teitzel. Russell. Russell, very hard to put on the ground.
Should have been a penalty there by Graham Annesley. David Gillespie never returned retired the 5 metres whatsoever. So that was poor refereeing. It happened straight in front of Graham Annesley.
Tony Smith has made the mistake at dummy half here. Ruled a knock on. May have almost really just dropped at his feet or gone back, but fair enough. A poor fumble by Smith at dummy half. The scrum packing on the halfway. Henjak putting it in.
That's amazing that the ball could go right through the middle of the scrum, John.
Sorry, Arthur?
It's amazing that the ball could go right through the middle of the scrum. We don't see that many days now.
No, with all those feet there. But we have a change in the West outfit. Goldthorpe's on for Jason Taylor.
And that forced Henjak to put the ball into the scrum. Ainscoe actually moved into 5'8" for that scrum. Here's Gibbs. Pace of this game starting to quicken now as Farah has a run.
I think sometimes Ian Russell can be a better player if he really goes to the line. He tries to do all sorts of tricks prior to the line, and he's got more tricks than that old dog you had at East, Arthur.
Here's Liddon. West's foraging towards the 22. working themselves into a handy position, but it's the last tackle. The kick goes up. Riolo jumps, doesn't get hold of it. It'll be 6 more to West. So West's handy position for them. 6 tackles, 20 metres out. Gillespie. Graham Wynn wants the ball, but he overruns the dummy half. Thomas turns it back inside to Goldthorpe. He's only 9 metres out. Jackson hits it up, but you can be sure that West have a move coming. Now running is Thomas. Almost there, Joe Thomas. It's the last tackle now. Jackson goes into dummy half. Goldthorpe out to Henjack. He looks wide and sees Gibbs. Floats the pass over the top for Burns. Back inside is Ainscote. Dunn driving him sideways. Henjack keeps it alive. Devine ducks out of one, gets the kick in, but no chasers there. Pinchinelli back to take the kick safely.
Yeah, great pressure there from West, but also good defence from Illawarra.
And a nice ball thrown by Gibbs over the top.
Yeah, I thought that might have been a touch forward also.
Illawarra inside their own 22 as McIndoe tries to get it out of there.
Yeah, I think McIndoe can take a leaf out of Burns's book for West and get involved a little bit more.
And the ball's been lost backwards by Teitzel, but the referee has gone, the penalty has gone against West, pulling the ball out. Of course, the new rule's in vogue now, isn't it?
Well, it is.
Not allowed to steal the ball.
Well, it's going to create a lot of controversy here, as we see. And it looked, well, that could have went either way there, and it looked as though maybe he might have lost that ball because it didn't look like Joe Thomas tried to strip the ball.
As of this weekend, you're not allowed to steal the ball if you're a defender in the tackle. No longer are you allowed to rip it out. Skiffolitti takes the tap, gets it to Kissel, onto Smith. Rodwell, I should say, is the runner.
It's a bit of a pity to use Rodwell in this way because from every tap, they just send him straight up into the defence. He's a better runner than that.
Teitzel's running hard and straight today and making ground every time he does. Pinchinelli. Again, managing to get over that advantage line, making ground all the time. Kissel, Smith, McGregor. Has Rodwell outside, tried to step away from Gillespie and Goldthorpe.
Not afraid to use the ball, Illawarra. They probably lost 20 metres then.
Smith hooks the kick across field. Burns is back there. Runs straight into Pinchinelli, and that's a good, strong tackle. Plenty of shoulder from Pinchinelli.
And that's 16 for Pinchinelli as he leads the tackle count for Illawarra.
West back in there at 22 now, and like Brown's cows.
And that set of play, really, John, highlighted what you said. Their kicking game down towards the 22 is very ordinary.
Yeah, they miss John Simon. Late replacement in Trevor Kissel is trying to do the job, but that's their problem. So I think they could put a lot more pressure on West if they just got that aspect of their game in order.
West have used up 6 tackles quickly as the kick goes downfield.
Gee, they got good use out of their 6, West.
Made about 10 metres.
Yeah, Andrew Farrer must have kicked at least 7 or 8 times already at the end of the 6s.
Riolo's hurt in that tackle. Russell, Wishart on the angle. Ball juggled out for a moment. Russell decides he'll have a run this time.
We see here the tackle counts for Illawarra, as we said, Pinchinelli with 18, followed by Tony Smith and Jason Liddon leading the tackle count for West. 10.
Illawarra swinging it across the backs, out to Rodwell. Tries to get away from Farrer, but not many players can beat Andrew Farrer.
There's another loss of 15 to 20 when they spun it wide against this good defensive outfit.
Kissel's kick straight into the arms of Devine.
Strange enough, John, there's plenty of open space there underneath the goalpost, and that may keep trying to find the line.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, that's an aspect they'll have to work on or discuss at halftime.
West's very much bunched. There's no back line at all. Jason Taylor coming back onto the field. And Goldthorpe is off. Penalty goes to West against Illawarra, up inside the 5. And Morrissey just questioning the decision.
And once again, it's almost as though Graham Annesley is reacting to the crowd.
And Tony Smith, the captain, is up there just discussing it with the referee as well after Morrissey had some complaint about the decision. Here's a look at the penalty. Well, Illawarra all up inside the 5 in front of the referee, and it's not a big 10 metres.
Well, I don't know. What do you call a big 10 metres? That's not 10 metres.
Well, I reckon it was about 7.
Campbelltown.
I thought it was about 7 or 8. It's certainly, or a big 5 metres. West's 15 metres out right in front. Gibbs. Thomas in a dummy half. Taylor looking wide. Devine's running well. Devine is still going. Sean Devine for the line.
That's
Very
a tremendous
close.
tackle there by Riolo.
Desperate tackle. Now interference in the play of the ball. A penalty has to go to West. The player will be lucky not to be in the bin here. Pinchinelli was the offender. No action of sending anyone to the bin, but clearly that play the ball was interfered with by Pinchinelli.
It was a tremendous tackle there, first of all, by Riolo, but there could have been someone down there. Riolo's down there. And we have a look. Well, yeah, he was on the goal line there, so maybe he's entitled to.
Yeah,
he
fair
came
enough.
off his goal line. So that was a tough call.
Yeah, with the benefit of the replay, as you say, you only have to line up on your goal line. And
It lot
maybe...
depends on whether he's penalising Riolo there. See, well, Riolo's there in the ruck, there laying in the ruck, so he might have gave the penalty.
Well, I think it did appear to go against Pinchinelli. It's a chance for West right in front. And Jason Taylor is back on the field. And his record with the boot this season, 28 from 38. He's kicked the most number of goals of any kicker in the comp. And he adds one more. His 29th for the season, and West extend their lead 6 points to 0.
The penalty goal for West, kicked by David Wilson, Kenner's player number 7, Jason Taylor.
We have a look here. It's fullback on fullback.
Illawarra 0.
That's a tremendous tackle, a try-saving tackle there by Riolo.
Either way, it's a surprise that there wasn't someone put in the sin bin there. I mean, that looks like a professional foul situation to me. Wishart restarts play. And Devine down there, the man who made that good run to get West on the offensive. Illawarra hung off Devine before Riolo was forced to make the good tackle. Gillespie, or is it Liddon, I should say. Farah. Farah still has his right knee well guarded.
You see Les Morrissey down too in that tackle.
Gillespie gets the ball back for Taylor on the bounce. Nowhere for him to go.
It appears though Morrissey's done his right knee there.
Thomas gets a good ball away to Gibbs. Burns now. But coming in with a strong tackle was Wishart.
And that didn't do much good either.
Taylor with the kick into the open spaces. Wishart's not back because he was just up in the line, and Taylor finds touch 10 metres inside the Illawarra half.
We have a look. This is a great kick here by Taylor. This is what he does best. His kicking game is tremendous, but you see that ball rolling end on end there, but Burns there feeling the effects of that Wishart tackle.
And Les Morrissey leaving the field.
David Walsh in 40, the new player.
And the scrum has gone against the head to West. Gibbs. And Gibbs has gone straight through. The referee scurries out of the road. Even he didn't expect Ronnie Gibbs to make the break there.
Well, there's signs here that Illawarra might open up.
Poor tackle on Gibbs as Taylor gets it out to Farah. They're only 12 metres out. Ainscoe at dummy half. Having a run himself. Still 10 out. Taylor going across, so is Jackson. Steve Jackson has a run. There's only 2 defenders on the outside of Jackson if he'd had some support. Taylor. Liddon. Back to Taylor again. It's knocked down by Skiffolitti. Wynn regathers. I thought he might have been offside. I suppose it came off the Illawarra hand. 6 more tackles. Ainscough drops it back. So West now 12 metres out, but still tackles to come as Jackson repeats the pattern, having a run himself. Gets it back to Taylor. They've got an overlap out here. Farah decides he'll have to run himself, though. Still 12 out. Thomas, Jackson. And Jackson realises that he didn't have the support out that side. Taylor. Back into the forwards with Gillespie. Only 9 metres out. Now it's the last tackle. Henjack on one side. Back it goes to Devine. Field goal attempt. But it's wide. So the score remains 6-0 in favour of West.
Well, it was probably worth a go here because it would have given them a 7-point buffer. But so early in the match, as we have a look at the ball going out here, and not much pressure from the Illawarra defence. Illawarra very desperate there in defence.
I thought Andrew Farrow may have erred by going himself on the far side. He had 2-on-1 outside him. Maybe he didn't quite have time to get the pass away, but
the defence did slide there, but I thought Jason Taylor erred when he came down this right flank out here and he gave the ball to Farrow. If he were to give the ball to Ainscough, they would have had a 2-on-1 situation.
So Illawarra 10 metres short of halfway. And Walsh, the replacement, David Walsh, takes a heavy tackle from Gillespie and also Liddon there. Russell.
Well, we have a look at the error rate here, and Illawarra missing 9 tackles there, 9 of 13 errors, and Graham Murray certainly wouldn't be happy with that aspect of the game.
Henjack having a wrestling match with Pinchinelli. Again, Henjack outgunned for size and height there. Last tackle, Kissel kicking behind Burns. Gets the bounce. He's got a bit of room to move here, but he cuts back inside. Would have been interesting to see if he'd taken Wishart on the outside there.
Well, I think that Wishart would have handled him.
You mentioned earlier that you said you think Wishart should be in the New South Wales side. Who are you going to drop, Chris Johns or Michael O'Connor?
Well, I know I'd find room for Wishart.
Sitting on the fence. Penalty goes to West. Again, up inside the 5. I think that's the 3rd penalty against Illawarra. Tony Smith, the captain, is being spoken to by referee Annesley.
Well, we have a look here. I thought there was a pretty tough call there, and it's a big 10 metres, and the ball had already been played.
Well, line to line, from play the ball to referee, that was exactly 10 metres.
As long as the same rules apply to West, everyone will be happy.
In the metres gain department, 674 for West Illawarra, 551. West's on top. Also leading on the scoreboard, 6-0. And they're back inside Illawarra's 22. Burns. They've been down here a few times without converting into more than just the early try. Gibbs. Russell takes him. Devine racing across to the blind side. So is Henjack, the big switch, but Taylor comes to the open. They were decoys. Out to Graham Wynn. Wynn's got Casado outside.
They do some work on their tap plays, Wes, and unfortunately today they've had quite a few in Illawarra's corner.
Here's straight through. Devine cuts straight through on the end of a beautiful pass from Taylor. The hole opened up for him. Taylor read it. Devine hitting the hole. His halfback gave him the ball where he wanted it, and West do get the try they've been chasing. It's 10-0 to the Magpies. Look at this beautiful ball from Taylor. The little hole opening up on the outside there of Walsh, and straight through it went Devine.
Was the replay of a set of 6 they used inside the 22. They cut back to win down the blind, and that the hole opened up there from Taylor. And the people that are fault here was the replacement and also Teitzel there as he cuts in between them.
Devine, a product of the West scholarship scheme. And it did look as if David Walsh just moved up a touch too quickly and opened the gap for Devine to hit back straight through it. Taylor in front. Makes no mistake, and West have a handy 12 points to 0 lead with 6 minutes remaining till half-time.
Well, this is the result of wily coaching. They spread Illawarra's defence all over the place, and they had forwards left in the middle of the field with holes between them, and that's easy meat for a quick player like Devine. That's good stuff from West.
Sean Devine Try scorer.
The try converted by...
Of course, that's probably the result of controversial penalty.
Two more of our sponsors very happy. Short, of course.
West in possession once more with Casado.
And Jason by David Wilson, chemist. Also got a little announcement for a lost father.
Farah.
Brian Milton, who's a 4-year-old, is looking for his dad. Brian's in the canteen on the hill side of the ground. Would his father, Jeff Milton, please go there?
Farah struggling to get to his feet.
Well, I don't know how long the referee is going to wait.
"20 metres out. Farah's getting to his feet in the back play. Thomas, a dummy half. Liddon. Straight and hard, Jason Liddon.
Well, strangely enough, Andrew Farah was up straight away, and one wonders why he took so long. Whether it's because we're inside the last 5 and they're trying to waste a little bit of time.
He's hobbling downfield, Farah. Doesn't look to be totally comfortable. Riolo gets it out to Wishart. Takes on Burns. Burns gets hold of him. McGregor gets it out to Smith. Plenty of defence moving up on the edge of the ruck there to get David Walsh. Pinchinelli. Kissel popping the little kick through for McGregor, but Graham Wynn was alert to it. He was always pedalling backwards.
Strange enough, it was Graham Wynn who came back from making the previous tackle. So he did read that well, Graham Wynn.
Noticeable on the tap moves that West have been setting up, as John says, setting him up so well that they often seem to be looking to Graham Wynn as the runner.
Well, they've used him twice down this right flank.
Jackson running straight into Rodwell. Thomas gets it back for Wynn. Taylor, quick hands on to Farah. Bit of room to move. Good ball out to Burns. Burns down the touchline. Across comes Russell. Russell with a great copybook tackle. Reminiscent of Johnny Raper, and you'll hear a bit more about Johnny Raper at halftime today. Great cover defending tackle from the lock forward.
Yeah, good work here by West as the long pass was thrown to Burns, and Burns changes hand there to try, but it's strange enough, doesn't use the palm on Russell, but a good diving tackle there by Ian Russell.
Yeah, they deceived the Illawarra defence then.
Steve Jackson looks to have injured his knee.
It was a good pop-back pass by Joe Thomas, and the backs were flying onto that ball. Good play by West, able to get on the outside of Illawarra on that occasion.
And a good ball by Farah too, getting it out to Burns, even though there was a chance of an intercept as Wishart came up. Now the penalty going to Illawarra here, and Skiffaletti decides to get on with it quickly.
Well, they've only got 2 minutes to go, so they have to hurry up things to get the 6 tackles in.
A try before half-time would really be a boost to Illawarra. They're down 12-0 as Rodwell charges into the centre. Skiffaletti works the play for Pinchinelli. 32 metres out. Skiffaletti gets it out to Kissel. On to Smith. Rodwell with a bit of room to move, but Ains goes on his back. Teitzel hitting it up. They've got 2 more tackles to come. They've reached the west quarter. Dunn. Bill Dunn met in good defence there. Moving up to hit him well was Darren Britt's on the field for West. The kick put through, Kissel chasing through, but Thomas again. Joe Thomas seems to be reading the kicks brilliantly. He's just in behind the line. He's covering beautifully. Now Casado running it away, and that might be Illawarra's last chance before half-time.
Well, Joe Thomas certainly played well. We've seen him on a couple of occasions cover what could have been a tricky situation.
Out to Darren Britt. Liddon. They've used up 5 tackles. Farah trying to kick away from Riolo, but in the end he puts it straight down the centre and Riolo's underneath. The last chance for Illawarra as the siren goes. Riolo running back upfield into the arms of Farah in the end. The man who kicked it, he thumps him into the ground, and Wishart doesn't like the way that Farah put him down. West have scored 2 tries to 0. They got on top and held that advantage. They lead by 12 points to 0.
And their kicking game's very admissible, and their first up tackles in the forwards there. They're missing some simple tackles, and early on the game, I know they've tightened up their ball control, but once they get inside the 22, John Peard alluded to that, they've got to come up with a little bit more direction there. And this is the area that they are missing John Simon also.
It's not as if Illawarra are playing a poor game of football, but they're just being outplayed by Wests in every department by that little bit of class and finesse.
And certain that, you know, they're giving away a few stupid penalties for inside the 5, so they've got to correct that situation.
Well, that's been costly for them. The penalty count going Westway 5-4, but a couple of those penalties were inside the 5. I think 3 of them out of their 5 penalties conceded for that infringement, and that can be very, very costly.
And what happens is where you get them too, and they were on late tackle counts also.
So Illawarra are going to have to lift their performance, but there's plenty to think that West wouldn't want to slacken, or Illawarra will be right back in this match very quickly. Getting a little more overcast here for the second half as Wishart gets a high kick downfield, and underneath it is Devine. Runs straight into Teitzel, and heavy tackle there from Dunn as well. Well, Johnny Peard, what was the news, particularly from that Illawarra dressing room? You there, John?
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. Did the old trick from last year. Anyway, we're back on deck here. Warren Ryan, he just wants them to keep on keeping on. You know, he's pretty happy with the result to date. But in the Illawarra room, they're concerned about the kicking, because that's a real problem. Kick for the team, not for yourself. And not real happy with the 10-metre ruling. What they want it to be more consistent for both sides.
Riolo has the ball. He's surrounded by West players who kept a good 10 metres away from him there.
That was a better chasing team by Western Suburbs there, but I can't understand why Riolo waited so long before he decided to make a decision.
John, can you tell us what's the crowd roaring about?
That's the parachutists have finally arrived. They're about 5 minutes late, Warren.
I hope they're not going to land in the middle of the field.
I don't know where they're going to land.
I hope they brought a football.
I hope there's
they're coming down on the field. This is ridiculous, in the middle of the game.
Well, this is...
Just off the field.
Well, someone could have 14 men on the field.
And here comes another one as the kick goes downfield to Devine. Well, in fact, they're landing just off the field. There's 2 have come down just behind the dead ball line and 2 just outside the sideline. So I guess I've got a feeling that might have been planned. It was quite spectacular. I'm glad he didn't land on the field. It would have been very interesting. So West in possession, just short of halfway.
That's a decoy.
That's not one of Warren Ryan's ploys that we're talking about before.
The pass, a very flat pass there to Graham Wynn, standing flat-footed. Farah with the kick, bouncing down towards the corner post. Riolo's back there. The chase is coming through. Farah was the kicker, and of course that put his winger on side, and Casado makes a good tackle. McIndoe having a run.
There's Neil Piccinelli for Illawarra with a whopping 28 tackles, and the next team is Tony Smith. So that virtually highlights the lack of defensive qualities in the Illawarra forwards there, that Tony Smith's next with 14.
Exactly twice as much work by Piccinelli. Skiffoletti looks wide for Russell. Rodwell has it, trying to get outside Taylor. Back inside is McIndoe. McIndoe scored 5 tries at his last outing against the Gold Coast. It's the last tackle. And the kick from Kissel. Back goes Devine, takes it well. Kept his eye right on the ball. And Russell's down there to make the tackle. Casado.
Russell going over the top there.
Ainscoe can't get away from Bill Dunn, or sorry, it's Kissel making the tackle. Gillespie. Just short of the halfway. Britt. Darren Britt. Fresh reserve. Farah with the kick, and it's a good kick by Farah. Back into the in goal, driving Riolo back, but it's just a little bit too long. That was a beautifully placed kick by Farah. Just rolled a little too far.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there, but he's showing Illawarra the way here, that he's kicking away from the fullback, and unfortunately that ball just rolling over the dead ball line.
Andrew Farah, one of the West's ex-Canterbury connection of Farah, Gillespie, Thomas. Of course, Warren Ryan has the Canterbury connection as well. And Paul Langmack, who told me just before the game that he hopes he'll be back 4 weeks before the end of the competition. So Langmack hopes to be back in action for West this season. Suspect forward pass a moment ago there.
Oh, that was definitely forward there, and of course the crowd reacted.
Coming out to Teitzel.
Strange enough, it's with the kicking game, it's Farah who's doing most of the damage, not Jason Taylor, who we predicted.
Illawarra have used up 5. As Kissel puts the kick ahead, but again it goes straight to the fullback. Kissel guilty of kicking straight to Devine every time, and it means he's got an extra second or two to get back upfield and make those easy meters before he even gets to the defence.
Well, it's almost... Well, he certainly wouldn't be happy with the kicking game by Trevor Kissel, because it's almost as though he's trying to find Devine.
Graham Murray there, a look of concern on his face. Back to Thomas. It was a good offload by Britt. Ainscoe by himself, though. I don't think he was really expecting it. The pass went the wrong way. Now it's the last tackle. Taylor. He gets a bit of distance with his kick as well. It's away from Riolo. Back to his goal line he goes. And Henjak down there wraps him up with Ronnie Gibbs and Ainscoe.
Yeah, in the first half, probably West were guilty of not having a good chasing team after the kicks, and Riolo threatened a couple of times, but it's not the case this half.
And these well-placed kicks, and Illawarra taking a while to get back, and this will be the 3rd tackle before they really have most of their side back in a position to turn the attack around. Teitzel runs straight into Thomas, who hit him ball and all. Really stood his ground then, Joe Thomas, before Graham Wynn came in.
It's strange, since the introduction of that rule, we would have seen Joe Thomas trying to strip the ball there.
Dunn almost slid on the inside there of Britt. Skiffaliddy, stab kicking through. He'll get to it first. Regains, he's got a man there. He didn't have time to get his hands really in control of the ball. Roddle was streaming through on his inside, and that is a handover. Britt takes it up. Alan McMahon, the Newcastle coach, having a look at the teams he's going to have to meet soon.
Yeah, they've got West next up, I think, on the 26th.
10 metres inside the Illawarra half with Gillespie.
Well, that should be a great confrontation, John. Usually the Warren Ryan coach sides and Alec McMahon are very tough affairs.
Oh, are they what? And I think they should put the appropriate referee in charge too. Otherwise it could get right out of hand.
Graham Wynn falling forward has lost the ball, with the referee ruling that it was Wynn's fault.
Well, I think Graham Wynn, they're trying to win a penalty here, and he's paid the ultimate penalty himself here. He gets up there and he tries to...
Well, if Graham Wynn had held on to the ball, he may have had half a chance of getting a bit of a reaction from the referee, but he really just seemed to spill the ball. There was a little bit of interference in the tackle. So far, it seems to be a much cleaner affair with the rule in about not stealing the ball.
Well, we saw last night the Parramatta Cronulla match, and we said we saw no stripping of the ball at all.
McGregor can't get away from Henjak, a terrier, but he swings the pass to Smith. Solid tackle from Britt.
I think anything that takes a bit of pressure off the referees is good for the game, Warren.
Sure. And better for the spectators. Kissel gets the kick, but was knocked down. West have it. Referee Annesley says play on, ruling that Kissel was fairly tackled after he put the kick in.
The only other one we've got to get rid of is kicking or striking in to play the ball.
We'll put that on notice.
Right.
We won't clean up the scrums, John?
Well, I think that's a lost cause, isn't it? I wouldn't have them.
Here's Gibbs taking it up. In centre field. 38 metres out. Liddon goes ahead. West still having this 12-0 lead. They established in the first half. It's the last tackle. Taylor puts a kick ahead. Bounces into touch, coming off Illawarra, so that could well be a West scrum feed.
Well, we have a look here. Jason Taylor running it down that blind side, and that coming off the Illawarra player there, and all the luck going West way at the moment.
I think Tony Smith tried to jump out of the road of that. Now, a warning for Trevor Kissel from the referee. I'm not too sure exactly what he's done to anger referee Annesley. West scrum feed, scrum win. Henjack. Out it goes to Ainscough. Down on the 22. A switch of play. Taylor. Over the top he goes. Out to Casado. Only 20 out now. Taylor. Britt. Britt held.
And once again, it's Piccinelli making the tackle over the top.
Taylor, another switch of play to the blind. Henjack turns it inside to Farah, trying to force his way through. He's held 15 metres out. West's in very tight. There's no back line, but plenty of runners as Taylor goes ahead. Inside is Devine. He runs straight into a strong Bill Dunn tackle. Taylor wants it this time. On the last tackle, up she goes. Coming down, it's a hard one to take. Anyone's ball, but beautifully taken by Riolo. That was an Aussie rules mark, and he had to get up there, and he had to get his hands above everyone.
Yeah, tremendous take here by Riolo. He did spill one earlier in the first half, but watching him go up a two-handed, and that's a tremendous take here, very courageous.
But that was a Gaze bomb. Anything could have come of that.
Yes, certainly. There's Ronnie Gibbs there, there's Liddon.
Wishart in possession of the ball after Illawarra quickly took the 22 tap. Some urgency in Illawarra's play, which is a good sign, as Smith pulled down 10 metres short of halfway. He realises that they need to get a try on soon. Was that knocked on? No. Skiffaliddi didn't knock it on, says the ref.
There should have been a penalty there as West came in for the second tackle there, a late tackle.
Kissel gets it away to Teitzel, just hangs on. The ball's on the ground. West have got it. Darren Britt falling on it. Pass was intended for David Walsh. Never got to him. So once more West's in possession, and they've spent most of the second half in Illawarra's territory, and they dominated the first half territory as well. Gibbs has gone without it.
Yeah, misunderstanding there between Gibbs and Joe Thomas there, but very impressed with Darren Britt, John.
Impressed with him, Arthur? Yeah, he's showing a lot of ability out there. He's certainly got size on his side, and you know all about that.
And wasn't that a great tackle from Ainscough? He really read the play there beautifully to stay on top of Wishart.
Certainly a high tackle there by Ivan Henjack.
Smith turns it inside. No way through for Dunn. Skiffaliddi still moving the ball around Illawarra, keeping it alive. Dunn straightens it up. He's got support in McGregor. McGregor tries to get away from Devine. Devine just ankle tapped him, and coming across to help out was Liddon. It's the fifth tackle. They go ahead with Skiffaliddi. Skiffaliddi still shooting. Looks inside, but it's been knocked on. West's have it. Morrissey putting the ball down.
Almost tackled there without the ball, but McGregor cut the wrong way there. He had Rioli coming up in support. We have a look here, Skiffaliddi, and just watch, he tries to put this ball, and that just a poor pass there, but if it could have found the receiver, a definite try.
The Magpies back in possession with Gillespie, but Illawarra keeping the ball alive there, and if you keep it alive long enough, well, the cracks sometimes appear, and that's what happened for McGregor in the lead-up.
Yeah, great ball there by Bill Dunn.
Taylor, almost a shepherd as he tried to get away from the chasers. Now it's the last tackle. Originally Taylor thinking about kicking on the fourth. Now he does kick on the fifth. It's straight to Riolo. Riolo dancing, trying to get away from Farah. And he's done it. Away from Thomas too. Gets it to Rodwell. Rodwell sets sail for the line. Rodwell could go all the way. Rodwell to the corner, and he scores. What a superb run from Brett Rodwell. Started by Riolo. That try coming out of nothing. The kick from Taylor went straight to Riolo, And he really did turn defence into attack. Here it is, stepping away, first of all from Farah, and then he escapes the dive of Thomas. He manages to run Rodwell onside at that point, and then Rodwell shows a surprising turn of pace, just too much for Casado. Devine was coming across, Taylor was there as well, and Rodwell just simply too fast.
Well, West tried to kick on the fourth tackle here, but it was good to play by their chasers there, and they kicked. And of course, West couldn't get back on side for their good chasing team. We spoke about Riolo in the first half, how he looked as though he was going to threaten West defence, and he's done it here. As you said, he's just cut holes in it here, hasn't he?
Well, we know that Rodwell's fast, but I'm surprised that he was able to completely leave the West cover behind the way he did. Well, if anything, Rodwell got a reward there for not getting back to help his fullback quickly enough.
Well, it looked as though Casado was going to catch him there, but he didn't have the pace.
Brett Rodwell played country origin football this year. And that's a fine try to him, second of the year. No substitute for pace once you're in the clear. Now Wishart has a very important kick. If Illawarra are to get right back into this match, this conversion could really lift them. It's a difficult one, out wide. It's a good-looking kick from Wishart. Oh, what a great kick. Great kick from Wishart, and that gets his side within 6 points of West. It's 12-6.
Well, not too often you see tries scored from kicks downfield, but when you can kick a goal from the sideline like that, that just puts Illawarra back in the game.
And I really believe that they have lifted in the last 10 minutes or so. They started to show a little more direction and impetus in attack, and they've got a reward for it. They're back in the game.
Well, their forwards are doing the hard work.
A kick across field to Dunn. West will have to quickly stiffen their defence. The ease of that try might have rattled them. Morrissey swings it out to Kissel. The defence moving up very quickly outside that time. Ainscoe and Henjack up to cut it off. The umbrella defence cutting in.
Well, they had the numbers there. If they could have found the hole there, they could have got that ball out wide, they might have been able to do something with that football.
Russell stands up Britt, but then runs into Wynn. Skiffalidia dummy half, back to Smith. And this is a good long kick from Smith. Finding the kicking game now as Devine is sent back, and there's plenty of chasers down there. There are 6 Illawarra players in front of Devine.
Including Tony Smith there.
West now back in their quarter with Ainscoe. The Magpies will have to resort to no mistake football just to steady the situation here. Get it away from their goal area.
Good work there by the Illawarra Steelers. They roll Graham Wynn over.
Darren Britt, one up off the ruck. That's 3 tackles with no frills football. They're now 33 metres out. And make it 4 with Liddon going straight and hard. Not much risk when you're one off the ruck. Back for the kick to Taylor. And a good kick too, sending Riolo across field. Riolo. Can he go all the way again?
Well,
no, straight into
he's taken too long to make a decision once again. They didn't have the whole of their chasing team down there.
McGregor's decided to go himself. He had men outside. May have been able to create something if he'd let the ball go. Wishart.
If anyone can turn it for him, it's that fella. He's just got to get involved all day.
You'd reckon if it rained, he'd rust, wouldn't you?
35 out from their own line. It's David Walsh. That's the last tackle now. Coming up 5 metres short of halfway. Smith gets the kick in, and Devine's not deep enough to cover it. Back into the in goal. Here come the chasers. Russell's leading them. Good run from Russell to get down towards Devine. Morrissey's there as well. He steps away from Morrissey, but not Russell, and also Pinchinelli there to make his 39th tackle.
It's a tremendous kicking game here by Tony Smith. Did you have a look also? What it's doing is turning the West forwards around, and Gibbs and Coe are taking their time getting back there. There's some very tired Western Suburbs forwards.
It makes you wonder where he was in the first half, Arthur.
Exactly.
Thomas gets it away to Ainscoe, trying to get outside Wishart, who launched himself at him, didn't use his arms, and that's why he missed the tackle. Skiffaletti racing through on Taylor. Taylor throws the dummy and he's been caught there, slammed into the ground by Rodwell, and that's a handover, so West have made the mistake. Illawarra are really picking themselves up here. 12 points to 6 in favour of West's. First handover against West for the match, but it could be a costly one. Walsh crashes through one tackle and he had Smith there, just couldn't get the ball away to him. 18 metres out now. Morrissey is 10 metres out. They're driving forward, Illawarra here. West trying to hang on to their lead. Out it comes to Russell. Back to Skiffaletti. He's got Rodwell on the burst, but that's a fine tackle by Ainscough. Ball and all, knocked him over. Still it's Illawarra 10 metres out. Russell throws off Henjack. 10 metres out, but has the ball been lost in the tackle? It appears to be stolen. Well, not stolen, actually lost, according to the referee, taken by Britt. Now it's Farah. So the pressure relieved by West. 12-6.
Very lucky let off there, and this is a poor pass here thrown from dummy half. We've seen bad passes thrown by Western Suburbs.
And Illawarra set to make a couple of changes, which could be crucial. Doug Delaney is going on for Trevor Kissel. And that's Teitzel going on for Bill Dunn.
Gillespie trying to work it out of the quarter area. The Wests are relying on taking it one up, and here comes the kick. Oh, Graham Wynn should be penalised there. Wynn came in on the angle and knocked Kissel over with his shoulder. Kissel was trying to chase through on the kicker.
There's not a reaction there by the linesman. It makes you wonder, what are they doing?
Well, they clearly missed it, but Graham Wynn took off downfield and then realised there was a chaser coming through and deliberately ran straight into him and knocked him over. Kissel went flying. So West have managed to get the kick in. Illawarra back in their half. Wishart. Skiffaletti. Russell, good ball inside to Rodwell. Oh, good step too by Brett Rodwell. Neat footwork. 10 metres short of halfway. Morrissey. The change is being rung for Illawarra as Kissel's off, and also Dunn, and here's Teitzel out wide. Wynn has held back Mackendale.
Well, that should have been a penalty. It happened right in front of the referee.
Graham Wynn has twice caused obstruction and got away with it. Now Smith puts the kick up. Underneath it is Devine. He drops it. It's anyone's ball. And it's West, I should say, West right on the ropes here with Delaney. 6 more tackles. Pinchinelli a dummy half. Out from McGregor. Wide is Mackendale. Mackendale can't quite get there. Flings it inside to Morrissey. The referee says the pass was okay. And Morrissey gets a well-deserved try.
Well, that looked a forward pass too, Warren.
It looked like it to me, but we'll have a look at the replay. It's West 12, Illawarra 10. But at least Illawarra coming up with a reward after some persistent, committed play. They swing it wide here. Great ball from McGregor. Mackendale looked like he'd get there. Casado just gets hold of him. Look at the pass inside to Morrissey. Well, does certainly look suspect. A bit hard to tell on the angle. Looks suspect.
They will pay that one. There's a ball shifted here. It was a great bomb there. And we see this ball. That was a tremendous pass there by McGregor. And as he's going down, he didn't have the pace to make it there, Mackendale. Les Morrissey, Johnny on the spot. A wide pass here from the dummy half. Pinchinelli's the man. Wide pass there from McGregor. And as you see, Mackendale trying to score another try. And the inside pass to Morrissey. A simple try.
Les Morrissey played with Canberra from 1985 to 88. Released by the Raiders to join Illawarra. Played with the Queensland country in 1984. He scored a very important try there. And as you say, on the replay, a bit hard to really cast too much doubt on the penalty from the replay, on the pass from the replay.
Well, that was a great bomb that we saw from Illawarra, and the pressure from players such as Russell culminated in Doug Delaney picking up that loose pill.
Well, it's 12 points to 10, so Wishart from a slightly easier position has the chance to draw Illawarra level. 9 metres in from touch. He's done it once. Can he do it again? Plenty of concentration. The crowd trying to upset him, but I'm sure his concentration will override that. In he comes. He's put it out towards the edge, but it's swinging back in. Oh, Wishart, tremendous kick. 2 pressure kicks from Rod Wishart, and it's 12 points all.
Well, Illawarra's improvement has coincided with their kicking game. That was a good bomb by Tony Smith. Retrieved by Doug Delaney. A wide ball. Good ball by McGregor, who's a much underrated player. And McIndoe had the awareness to stick it inside to 41, Les Morrissey. 12 all.
So West 3-start play, and if there was any question about that final pass, well, it just evens it up for the first West try. But not only is Illawarra's kicking game picked up, but their chasing game has improved, and they're putting pressure on the West kickers now. And remember, West gave away the handover, and that really set them back in their own quarter.
Well, that's a big problem. They've seen some very ordinary work from the dummy half there, and we saw Illawarra chasers hunt down Jason Taylor and Andrew Farrow and put enormous pressure on their kicking game.
The Wests are going to have to lift their intensity now. They've met a much more committed Illawarra side in this second half. And here's another good kick from Smith. Back goes Devine. The ball actually bouncing back towards the 22. Wishart's onside, and he's got hold of Burns. That's a great chase and tackle. And once more, West pinned 10 metres out from their own line. Pass goes to Farah. In the first half, it looked as if West were going to coast away. Britt hits it up. He's lost the ball. Back goes Pinchinelli. Bad mistake by Britt. Pinchinelli now 15 metres out.
Pinchinelli picking up that loose ball. He's also done 40 tackles.
Morrissey back into the forwards he goes.
Pinchinelli and Jason Liddon there with 22 from Western. They're going to have to do a lot more tackling.
Teitzel only 11 metres out. Driven back a couple more. Smith a dummy half. Walsh hitting a jolting tackle by Joe Thomas, and Jim Dimmock's on the field. Long ball going back. They look for the field goal, will they? Morrissey gets it to Russell. On to McIndoe. McIndoe's got a bit of room. Turns it inside to Rodwell. May have been better staying out with Wishart, and now they've lost the ball.
Yeah, the pressure off there, but they had their chances out wide there, and maybe they would have been better putting the grubber in wide or kept running it towards the corner.
Well, the two wingers combining together. Rodwell losing the ball there. He did have Wishart on the outside when he cut back inside. Now the penalty has gone to Wests.
You know, once again, he's ruled that Teitzel there is interfering in the play of the ball.
West taking plenty of time.
We have a look here on replay, and he's trying to get up and play it, and Teitzel there just delay on that play of the ball as long as possible.
6 for the penalties to West. First penalty of the second half. Ainscoe. Burns.
Well, there's the errors there, and it's almost even now as Illawarra have cut down the mistakes, and West is certainly catching up.
Just inside the Illawarra half. Thomas, Liddon. Good football there by West. Liddon still going. Strong run. 32 metres out. West haven't been in this area for a little while now. Dimmock. Devine was wrapped up by McIndoe off the ball. Last tackle. Graham Wynn sets sail downfield. Kick goes up, but it's out on the fall. And Wynn shows his frustration at a bad kick.
Well, that was almost the kick of the front row. Someone who was never assigned the kicking duties. We have a look here as he goes down that blind side. A very ordinary kick there. I know it was the last tackle.
Illawarra back in possession.
Gibbs is off, and Steve Jackson back on.
Ron Gibbs had a very strong first half. Hasn't been as prominent in the second stanza. Wishart.
Good effort by Illawarra because, gee, they soaked up some in the first half. They did a lot of tackling. They've come back strongly now, aided by a bit more possession.
Devine going back. Russell down there with a good chase. And he makes a strong tackle too.
That's a great effort there by Russell. He put in a great kick and he chased that down with plenty of enthusiasm.
Farah we were making excuses for Illawarra in the first half, losing Chris Walsh and John Simon, but they've shown that they can do it even without those two important players. Jackson. Thomas has Burns there, but there's Wishart right on top of his opposite number. Henjack has come in off the ruck. He wanted to get rid of it for another kicker, but he had to put it in himself.
I think he was looking there for Andrew Farrer, but Farrer was downtown there.
Riolo goes out wide for McIndoe. Back to Riolo. They're on their own quarter.
Much better chasing team there from West as Dimmock breaks up Riolo.
There's 11 minutes remaining. It's 12 points all. Bill Dunn coming back onto the field. And only had about 5 minutes rest. Smith. Inside is done. Quickly back into the action. Slips it away to Delaney. Looked as if it was forward, and that's the way the referee saw it.
Well, this is probably the first mistake that Illawarra have made this half. They missed a couple of tackles. We have a look here as Bill Dunn puts a short ball into Delaney there, but the ball was definitely forward, and they would have been better advised making no mistakes and keeping the ball down West's area.
As Henjack will put the ball in the scrum. It goes to Dimmock. Out it goes to Farrer. Farrer held. The clock ticks over to 10 minutes now. 12 points all. They've used up 5 out of their 6 interchanges on both sides. As it goes to Darren Britt. Next try scorer, well, is going to go very close to wrapping this match up.
Well, it almost looks as though they're setting themselves the field goal as Wynn coughs that ball up.
Well, Graham Wynn is having a mixed day. Did some strong work early on. A couple of mistakes in the last couple of minutes. Now it's Morrissey. 12 points all. And it's the experienced men of West who should be showing the way at the present time. Teitzel puts his head down. Wishart will run from dummy half. Bursts through the first tackle. Gets it back to Skiffalidi, who was trailing. Win there with the tackle. And Jackson on the halfway. West defence being tested. Russell decides to kick. Didn't wait till the last. And finds touch brilliantly. That's a fine kick by Russell. I think it's his first kick of the day, and it was a beauty.
It's his second kick of the day, but it does make you wonder, as Jack Peard said, why Tony Smith and Ian Russell weren't sharing the kicking duties in the first half.
In the first half, they gave the kicking duties to Trevor Kissel, the replacement for John Simon, but he just wasn't getting the distance or direction.
It's almost like West have changed their kickers too. Taylor doing most of the kicking this half, where Farrell was very successful in the first half.
West back on their heels, but they should win this scrum. They're holding it in there, trying to attract a penalty. Devine. Because last week, West were fooling around with the rules by standing Devine out of scrums, taking the lock. Devine would go down injured, with the lock coming out to stand in the back to give them an extra defensive player. Bending the rules, and quite a bit of controversy as to whether or not it was in the spirit of the game.
You can't spend much time down your end of the field now. I think you've got to work it down the other end, both sides, and perhaps have a shot at field goal. Tries are scarce at the moment.
And the ball is rebounded from Farrer's kick and just saved by Casado, and they get 6 more tackles. Well, was that kicked into the back of the Illawarra player? Did he really play at it?
Well, I didn't see that, Warren. I was trying to pick my man of the match.
John, did you get a view of it? I thought it might have been kicked straight into the back of the Illawarra player, in which case it shouldn't be 6 more.
Well, he protected himself, so I guess you could say that may have been playing at it.
Here's Britt up the centre, slips the ball away to Lennon, but he's been kicked back for a forward pass.
Just a marginal ball here, and the referee not in really good position to see it.
Only
so
just forward.
It's a game. If we have a look at that, it's a marginal ball, that one. That's a game call.
Well, I think maybe it was just right. So very, very close. Just right.
We'll let the viewers be the judge. Have a look at this. Gee, it's only marginal. Like, hey, you are splitting hairs, Warren.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the referee was more right than wrong, I think, and it was a very difficult decision. You've got to give him credit. I think he was by a centimetre right.
Get the slide rule out.
Could have been a decisive bust. Liddon was flying downfield, only the fullback in front of him. Russell.
We have power down and back play also.
Riolo gets the ball away. They're keeping it alive. Delaney. Henjack gets hold of him. Skiffaliti. Smith hangs on to it, took it well above his head. Last tackle. Skiffaliti will kick. Putting it down into the corner. Devine is going to gather it in. Rodwell's there. And a good tackle from Rodwell. The chasing from Illawarra in this second half has been very, very committed. Very enthusiastic. 6 minutes remaining at 12 all.
And once again, Piccinelli chalking up another tackle.
Well, these two teams came into the match as 4th and 5th on the table, and they really are going to the wire.
And Illawarra set to make another change. David Walsh is going on for Teitzel. Graham Murray recognised the fact that they've done a lot of work in the forwards, Illawarra, particularly Piccinelli, of course.
Farrow with the kick, but it's straight to Riolo. Well-positioned Riolo. He tries to get away from Henjack. He grabs him by the jersey. McGregor on halfway. So they've got 5 more tackles. They need to make 20 metres at least upfield to try and get within field goal range. But it's been dropped by Wishart. Brett has it for West. So the circumstances reverse. Can West make the 20 metres to get within field goal range? Farah. The West trainer, Dennis Tuddy, out there passing on a message to Gillespie from Warren Ryan, no doubt, as Liddon takes it up the centre. Chant goes up for the Magpies. Gillespie, you can bet the message was field goal. Still keeping it in the centre is Britt. In behind the ruck, Devine is one of the players there. Jackson with a good run. Burns. But they've taken it away from the post to the left. It's the last tackle now. Devine has one off the ruck. Oh, the pass goes wide of both of them. Henjack loses it. Back to Devine. It's the last tackle. They've got to do something with it. Bad kick from Jackson. Didn't get to it. And that will be a handover. And they've blown it, West, there. The bad pass from the dummy half was atrocious.
Well, that's happened all day there. But why they took that ball away from the post there?
Well, even though they took it away from the posts, they still had every chance of at least attempting the field goal if only the pass to Devine was a good one.
Well, all I'm saying, though, midfield, they could have set themselves either side of the ruck and they would have been tougher to hunt down.
It's the old story. They made half a break and suddenly it's hard to keep on track up the centre when you make that half a bust.
Steve Jackson had a great run there, put them in a great position. He tried a miracle pass, but here's Delaney.
Devine's there to take it, though. That was a good kick from Delaney.
Well, it wasn't too good. West have got the ball now, and I thought he was a bit selfish there, Delaney.
Well, I thought it took a pretty good effort from Devine, but still, you're right, West will come up with the ball in the end. Britt.
They might have it right this time, Warren.
Well, you think they will have learned from the last mistake. Gillespie knows where the posts are, straight up the centre.
Just looking, you'd think that Jason Taylor, they might bring him back.
Liddon straight up the centre, still going. Gets it away to Britt. Britt's, a shocking pass from Britt. That shows his inexperience. He simply had to hang on to it. Even if they didn't score the try, West had to shoot for field goal. Well, Illawarra have another chance. West have blown it for the second time.
It's a great run here by Darren Brett, but all he had to do was die with possession. And hello, Graham, when there's the controversy, he'll break the ball back. As we said, they've got another chance.
Well, the clock has stopped at the 5-minute mark. In fact, it looks like we've got about 2 minutes remaining now. Up the centre they go with Dimmick. Devine is right in behind. He's going to be the man to shoot for goal. Ainscoe knows all about it. The tactics are keep it near the posts. Devine is back in. They should go to him now. They do. The chaser coming through. The kick is a good one, is it? Yes. But I think there was interference.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We have a look on replay. Skiffaliti here is taken out. Should have been a penalty here for obstruction.
Well, Devine has landed the field goal. It's West 13, Illawarra 12. Now look at Skiffaliti try to chase through here. Well, maybe they were...
But where was he going to go? You know, it is obstruction. The rules are that if you interfere with the tackler, and he was a defender trying to get to the ball carrier.
Well, do they have to step aside and let him through? Well, I suppose it's a form of shepherding.
Well, it's called the old bridging rule.
Short kick by Illawarra. They've almost got it back, but the knock-on's going to be played. And that could be the last chance. Well, Devine with a good shot at goal, but there'll be some controversy over whether that was shepherding. We're into the final minute or so of play. 13-12 to West. The two West players certainly stood their ground as Skiffaliti was trying to find a way through. Whether they moved into his path, but Devine was hiding behind them.
Well, I've just tied up here, Western Suburbs, and been a very brave effort by Illawarra. They were down 12-0 at half-time. And to come back from that and have a chance of winning, tremendous effort by Illawarra.
Graham Wynn just short of halfway. Well, you'd have to say a draw is probably the fairer result because it's been a tremendous effort by both teams. West dominating the first, Illawarra the second.
We just saw a tremendous hit there by Skiffaliti.
And the kick downfield. No, it has gone touching goal. So it'll be back to the 22 for a last-ditch fling by Illawarra. The siren's gone. The siren has gone. West are the victors by 13 points to 12. Well, there's been numerous incidents in this match worth having a look at on the replay tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. A lot of controversial passes, difficult decisions for the referee. West have poked their heads in front at the final whistle. Just evading the draw, they picked up the win by 13 points to 12.
On their home turf, the Campbelltown Sports Ground, the 2 points go to Western Suburbs, taking their premiership tally to 12, which will keep them in the top 5 in the race for the 1991 title.
So it was 2 tries apiece, 2 goals apiece. The field goal was the difference. And Ivan Henjak is with Johnny Peard.
Well, Ivan, you worked hard for it in the end after that handy lead early. How'd you see it?
Mate, that was nail-biting stuff towards the end. We've been in a few games this year, and that's probably held us in good stead for today's game. We just hung in and didn't panic and waited for the 1 point.
Yeah.
But full marks to Illawarra, they just kept coming at us.
Yeah, well, you had a lot of possession early, and they soaked up a fair bit of punishment. It was a good comeback by them, wasn't it?
Well, it certainly was. I mean, they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You know, our preparation was a little bit limited, but they really came out, and, you know, I think they knew they had a good job to do, and they stuck to their guns the whole way through.
Right, you had a couple of preparations for field goals. Third one came off lucky, but you put up the Great Wall of China. Was that part of the deal?
Yeah, well, look, you know, we probably should have had one earlier on, but we blew our field position by giving away stupid balls, trying to pop balls in difficult situations. But, you know, just thank God we got the 1 point, and we got the 2 premiership points now.
Thanks very much, Ivan.
Thanks, Johnny.
Looks fairly relieved to have got the points, doesn't he? And why wouldn't he? What a finish it was. Let's find out who was Beetson's best. Hard all day.
Well, he certainly did in the first half when Illawarra looked like opening up. It was only his defence that probably saved them from chasing a bigger scoreline, and there were probably a lot of other players that came into contention, but you know, Jason Liddon, Joe Thomas certainly played well. Andrew Farrer played well for West, but it was a tremendous effort, a tremendous comeback by Illawarra.
And certainly defence and chasing down the kickers was an important part of the game. Let's have a look at the final field goal, both from the point of view of West and some controversy from the Illawarra point of view. So Skiffaliti from the marker position trying to chase through on Devine, and Wynn and Henjak. Look, well, Henjak certainly was blocking Skiffaliti. Henjak, I reckon, was moving sideways.
Well, it's happened in the first half. We said Graham Wynn was in the road and he knocked over one of the Illawarra chasers, and it's something the referees are going to have to look at.
Well, it was a difficult one to judge, and certainly we had to look at it 3 times to see what was going on, so it makes it harder for the referee, but it does look controversial or suspicious.